Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Today we're going to talk about Vampyr on the Nintendo Switch. If this is your first time coming to the channel, feel free to hit that subscription button. We like to have a lot of fun here. Well, Vampyr is a game that I was like, I gotta check this out. Now, it came previously out on the other consoles. Now it's out on Switch. So I finally was able to give it a good little look-see. And I gotta say, I was rather impressed. Now, I like Victorian era. I like vampires. I like dark alleys and just like plagues surrounding the city and stuff. So it was real cool to see a game take place in a real dark setting, an atmosphere that was full of like, you know, vampires everywhere, people scared of them, people hunting them. Just listening to the characters, the NPCs that are in the cities, talking and discussing being scared and terrified, and just overall it just had a real gloomy atmosphere. Now, controlling the character itself, it's actually pretty cool. As you progress, you can actually kill innocent people and take their blood and gain experience from it. Each character has like a XP rating on what their blood quality is like, and as you progress you can get bigger and better upgrades for your character and make your vampire just all around a pretty legit badass. Basically, I would say this game reminds me a lot of like Arkham City, like the Batman Arkham games. It even has a mode where you can push the joystick in and be able to kind of see like in a vampire vision where certain blood trails are like featured on the ground, and then you could actually identify citizens that are in the area and stuff. So it's kind of like Batman, but a vampire. So a guy that plays a man in a bat and a guy that is a vampire. There's a lot of similarities. You're even able to use certain abilities to, like, if you find certain areas in the map, you can like fly up and get to them and find different secrets and collectibles, and there's hideouts scattered throughout the map as well. And the map progressively gets bigger and bigger. You'll find yourself going from point A to point B and having to do like side quests and missions and things like that. So the game does have a sense of an open world environment. It's not as massive and big as games like The Witcher and GTA and stuff like that, but there is a nice little, I guess, environment, like ecosystem that has you traveling around this certain map that you have, and there's lots of hidden areas and stuff to do in it. So I was actually really pleasantly surprised. Now, there is a high degree of challenge, especially early on in the game, when you do face the variety of different enemies. Sometimes you'll face like 3 at once. Some of them have like armor and weapons, and they're able to shoot you from far away. And you know, even some of the boss fights, there's like a sword beast early on in the game that's like, wow. So you got to take advantage of the grind. This game is grind heavy, especially in the initial parts that I realized. So I found myself just randomly just regaining levels, going to sleep, upgrading my character until I felt comfortable enough to be able to take on characters multiple at once, because you can get pretty much destroyed trying to take on too many opponents at once. And you'll find random spawns of other like vampires. I think they're called like skulls. They're like infected vampires that eat like on the dead, I guess. It's a pretty big interesting story. The main plot has your main character trying to figure out who turned him into a vampire, who caused, you know, this commotion, because, you know, right at the beginning of the story, you accidentally kill your sister, and then you're getting chased by policemen, and, you know, eventually you find other vampires that want to attack you and stuff like that, and then you make your way to a hospital, and it's just, overall, it's just a real dark and gritty atmosphere of a game that pretty much had me impressed. The graphics, again, they are dark. On the Switch, there is a little bit roughness on the edges, and that goes with most of these games. They kind of do a weird thing where the graphics are a little blurred and soft around the edges and stuff, but during cutscenes you can really tell that they've done a lot of work trying to actually make the game look like it's passable on the Nintendo Switch. It's not too bad, but if you're used to playing, you know, games on your PS5, or I mean your PS4, PS5, it ain't even out yet, your PS4 or your Xbox One, you're gonna see a little bit of a difference. And then another weird thing that I've encountered once in a while in this game is when you make your way to certain areas, the game pauses actually and does like a loading screen where you're literally like in the middle of running down the alleyway, and then it just kind of like grays out and has a loading. So there's like in-game loading that kind of kills the, I guess, the feel and the action a little bit for me. I'm not aware if the other versions on the other consoles do this, but there's been times where you're just kind of like walking and then it pauses to load up. And it gets, you know, there's a little bit of way of frame rate issues and stuff. Nothing horrible, though. Nothing too game breaking. Nothing that I saw was like, you know what, this game is trash and it's garbage. This isn't one of the worst Switch games out there. In terms of a port, I guess it's passable. It's minimal, like, on the issues, honestly. I've had a lot of fun exploring it. There's actually so much to do. I'm probably about, like, 5 hours in. The game isn't long at all, judging from some of the walkthroughs I looked at. There's probably about, like, 7 chapters. I'm in the middle of, like, the middle to the end of chapter 3, honestly. And I was pretty impressed so far with what I saw. Are they going to make this into a franchise, Vampyr? I probably am led to believe so. I'm not entirely sure how well this did on the other consoles, but I can imagine this game actually selling a number of copies on the Nintendo Switch, because there's not too many single-player experiences out there for people to really sit down and enjoy and experience and stuff. And this is actually one of the bigger single-player experiences outside of The Legend of Zelda and Skyrim, of course, that I've encountered on the Nintendo Switch. So it was overall pretty impressive. You know, again, it was something a little bit different, something a little dark. You know, people say Nintendo is for the children and for the kids and that they have cartoony stuff. Well, this is something that begs to differ. It's something that shows, you know, this system is capable of having some of these third-party ports that the other consoles have. And I'm tired, honestly, of that battle, that never-ending battle of Nintendo doesn't have third-party support. And we know that is true, but games like Vampyr coming over to it, albeit maybe a little inferior version of the actual game that's on PS4 and Xbox, it still shows that some developers are wanting to move over and make the Switch, pun intended. So is this game worth checking out? Honestly, yeah. It's also available physically, and I'm sure it's not even a full retail game. Off the top of my head, I haven't even researched it, but I'm pretty sure that this game is not more than $40. And if it is, that might be a little bit too high, but I think this is one of those third-party games that comes with that $39.99 price tag, maybe even the $30 price tag, to experience a game that has enough in it to keep you occupied. It's, you know, a map that has missions, side quests, unlockables, collectibles. There's scavenging. You can level up. There's upgrades. It has a great story. Very mysterious, dark story that involves vampires. It's October. What more is there that you guys wouldn't be intrigued by? Definitely do think that this game is worth picking up for your Nintendo Switch collection. And you could probably get it cheaper on PS4 and Xbox, but we're talking about Switch here. If you want it for your Switch library, I definitely do think that maybe you should consider checking it out. If not, then you could probably get it elsewhere on the other consoles for much more cheaper. And if you don't like it, if this ain't your type of vibe, if this ain't your thing, then you can just not get it. Don't take my word for it, as Reading Rainbow would say. But again, I was actually pleasantly surprised with what I saw overall with this game. So I definitely do think Vampyr is a good that you guys should give a little look-see for. I would even venture to say on the ABE game grading scale that I would give this game a solid 7.5. You know, it's passable, it performs well. There's not too much in way of any problems outside of that loading screen issue that kind of got on my nerves. It looked a little rough around the edges, but I've seen worse. I mean, Troll and I, WWE 2K19 or 18, which one was it? It's already been 2 years since that crappy WWE game, and, you know, it's not the worst Switch game out there. And it's funny that we have to keep saying that, but I will assure you that it is a decent port, and it's a lot of fun for a game. For a first-timer here, I rather enjoyed it. And you know what? That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks a lot, as always, for watching. I really appreciate all the support. If you are brand new, again, feel free to throw that subscription. If you enjoyed the video, click like, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Have a great day, and always stay gaming. Peace out.
Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description.
You want to become part of the hashtag 8BE Nation, guys? Well, be sure to pick up your official merch, now available online. Link is below in the description. We got classic t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and even women's apparel. Don't forget, pick up your official merch now. And while you're at it, guys, feel free to watch the next video, or why don't you catch up on one that you might have previously missed. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing, and don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you are brand new. Thanks again, guys. Peace out.